stuff. Okay, you mentioned Morgan Freeman. So you guys all heard of Morgan Freeman? I think he's done like 90 movies. One or two, I'm sure you all know Morgan Freeman. By the way, quick story. Tell them who does your. This is a cute story. Who does your ringtone? This is really cool.
Well, my cousin, after I did the first movie, told me that when I did the second movie, he would never speak to me again unless I at least asked Morgan Freeman to do my outgoing voicemail. And so I asked him, and he agreed. So now my dad texts me several times a day, don't answer, and calls me, but doesn't want to talk to me. So
that's your Morgan voice,
yeah.
The voice of God. What can you say? So let's start with Morgan. So for you guys, what was it like working with a guy like Morgan Freeman? I mean, you guys are experienced that. And by the way, Nathan talked about being his first major film as protagonist. But he's done a lot of films, a lot of TV. He was Brad Pitt's son at one point. He was in one of the Batman movies. They both done a lot, so they weren't new at that point. But you were young, obviously. But what was it like? Let's start with Morgan Freeman. What was it like working with a guy like Morgan Freeman for both of you guys? What was that like?
Well, he's played God, right? So everybody knows Morgan Freeman. So I was very nervous. But actually, I'm going to be honest, my favorite moment during both Dolphin Tale 1 and 2, I had a lot of great moments, but if I had to pick just one to relive over and over and over again, it's got to be the scene where me and Morgan Freeman are having the one-on-one conversation at Island
We showed that before they saw
it. Oh, really? Yeah. You know that scene where he gives me the watch? Guys, to be in a scene with Morgan Freeman where he's teaching me a life lesson as an actor and as a human being is so incredible, and I'm so blessed that I got to have a chance to do that. And actually, my wardrobe lady at the time, she took a picture of me and Morgan talking between takes, and she framed it, and she gave it to me, and I have that picture at my apartment now, and I look at it all the time, and I'm like, gosh, it's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe.
It's hard to believe that we got to do any of it. I mean, honestly,
True, right.
Every time I see the movies, I'm like, it really happened.
We have proof of it, too.
Yeah.
By the way, that picture of you and Morgan's right next to the picture of you and me, I think.
Well, I used to have it, but I put Morgan's face over yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever
priorities, you know.
Whatever works, right? Chop liver here. So, Austin, for you, Morgan Freeman, what was it like for you?
It was life-changing, to be honest, because in between Dolphin Tale 1 and Dolphin Tale 2, I did not work, basically, as an actor. And that's how I pay my bills, it's how I make my living, it's how I put food on my table. So it was really, really, really hard. And I was beginning to think, like, is this ever going to happen again? Or, you know, is my career done? And so on the set of the second one, in between takes one night, it was really cold. He was like, hey, you want to sit with me in my gang in my SUV? And I was like, sure. So I'm sitting there with him and all of his family and friends.
Who would say no to that?
Yeah.
Invitation.
Like, no, I don't really want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
But so we're chilling, and he was like, you know, you've been working a lot. And I said, you know, no, to be honest, I haven't, and it's been a little scary. And he was like, don't worry about it. It happened to me once. And I was like, are you kidding? And he was like, no, there was a whole like stretch of my life where I could not book a job to save my life. And knowing that happened to Morgan Freeman, I was like, maybe I'll be okay. Like, you know, if the world's greatest actor can go through this as well, then, you know, maybe I'll be fine. And he was like, all you gotta do is stay on the bus. Just stay on the bus, just keep going. And so I think it was a great life lesson for me, because if any of you guys have dreams that you're trying to pursue and you seem to be up against a roadblock, just stay on that bus, just keep pursuing it, because you never know how close you are to actually getting what you're dreaming of.
Chase the dream. And of course, you've been busy doing a lot of things since, and also a lot of things. But
I've been very blessed, yeah.
Since you're on the chase the dream kind of mentality right now, talk a bit about how you got involved. It's a great story about, guys, if you want to chase your dreams, listen to how she did this. Tell a story about how you even got to Hollywood. You just thought it was just time to go, and you went.
Yeah, I just graduated from UNC Chapel Hill, and I got into my little Honda and drove west. I just got on I-40 and just, you know, went out to California. And so I had arranged to be living with a family when I first got there, and their house just so happened to be in Beverly Hills, so I thought that I was in like high cotton, you know. And so I had been driving all day, and as I'm pulling into their driveway, the muffler of my old Honda fell off in the middle of one of the busiest streets in Los Angeles, and I had on flip-flops, and that thing's like 400 degrees because I've just driven across like the Mojave Desert. So I'm like trying to kick this like muffler out of the street. I'm like, hi, sorry, you know, and all these cars are honking. And I'm like, welcome to LA. I am the Beverly Hillbillies. This is great.
It works. Chase the dream, guys. Never give it up, right? All right, so let's talk about, let's go now to Eric Huntington. I know he was a really tough guy to work with, really mean, boring, this kind of sad guy. So Tell us about Harry. Tell us about Harry Connick.
Well, David is joking, actually. He's
Of
kind
course.
of quite the opposite. Harry was quite a jokester on set. In fact, he would make us laugh like literally seconds before they said action. So we would have somehow go back from laughing hysterically to do a really intense scene with Winter. That was kind of a challenge, but Winter. Harry is such a nice guy and so friendly, and he made me so comfortable on the set, which